And good. Go ahead, Clay.
All righty. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Two good days of practice for us, installing basically our base packages over the first 2 days, and going through the NCAA acclimatization period, which is just helmets. So we move on to the next phase, which you're allowed to include shoulder pads and be in shells. We'll start working some situational football, looking at third down emphasis today, and red zone emphasis tomorrow, before our first full pad practice on Wednesday, which is the first time that you can get in full pads based on the NCAA calendar. Overall, I thought the energy was great. The first 2 days, you could tell the kids just being out there, being all together, and just playing for the love of the game was just awesome to see. And you could also tell how much the OTAs, the 2 weeks leading up to being able to go out there and get some functional football movement, how that helped us both mentally and physically. And really prepare us for a training camp. So I hope it's something that the NCAA will consider moving forward, because now having gone through it, it's a great way to prepare for training camp, both mentally and physically for these kids. It got us ahead. Looking at the first 2 days, I was very pleased. Not only with assignment sound football, which I thought the OTAs gave us, but also just the energy that our kids brought and the competitiveness that our kids brought. And the best thing that happened was it was a clean day for us, but both days injury wise. So really no new injuries to report. So it was a good weekend. We gave the kids off yesterday. Now obviously got some sore bodies after 2 days of moving around like they did. And now we'll come back today. So looking forward to getting back on the grass this afternoon. With that, I'll take any questions that you got.
Okay, we'll start here with Ryan Young. And you can unmute yourself, Ryan. Everybody else stay on mute, please. Thank you.
Hi, Clay.
Hey, buddy.
Just to follow up from Friday, I had Marquise look in action, and then we didn't ask about Isaac Taylor-Stewart. Just how is he coming back from his injury?
Yeah, with Marquise, I thought he looked really well. It's really his kind of first action of being able to put that foot in the ground, maneuver and cut. We had a limited plan for him, and actually he handled it so well, we gave him a little bit more on Saturday, to be honest with you. And so visited with him this morning. He felt great after 2 days of work. So very positive, to be honest with you, on where he's at. And he's one that we'll gauge over these next 4 weeks, but just early signs, he looks healthy. So with ITS, I think really his burst is back, his speed is back. Again, those OTAs really provided him confidence, I thought, going into training camp. It allowed us to go at a nice pace for him. And, he's a kid that hits 22 miles an hour. So straight line, it looks like the burst is back. I'm looking forward to seeing more of the change of direction over the next 4 weeks, but initially very positive signs on both kids.
And then with the running backs overall, what is your plan there? Is it realistic to have 4 guys all be factors in the offense, or is there going to be some tough decisions to make there?
No, one of the things that we're working, and I don't mind saying it, is you got to, as we saw last year, you have to have backs. I mean, it's the most physical and violent position on the football team when you're talking about getting tackled every time you touch the ball, or the pass protection against guys like EA and those type of body types. So you have to have multiple guys. But the other thing that we're looking at also is having the ability to use 2 backs at one time and being a little bit of 20 personnel with 3 wides and 2 backs. So it's a package that we've worked over the summer and can utilize at any time.
Thank you.
Ryan Karchi, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Clay, you talked a little bit about the freshman offensive lineman, and obviously it seems like, at least they'll have to be ready for some sort of rotational role. What have you seen from them just early on, and what's the most difficult adjustment maybe for them to, especially in an odd year, for them to kind of get acclimated?
Yeah, Ryan, I think one of the biggest silver linings of this whole thing. It's a logistical nightmare what we're going through right now with 4 different fields being worked and spreading everybody out. But the silver lining in it is we're really getting to 2-spot a lot of our team activity, which is getting those young kids reps and tape and us to evaluate as well as coach off of. So that's kind of been the silver lining here. 2 kids that have jumped out to me right off the bat are Jonah Bonheim and Cortland Ford. They've shown a good physical maturity right off the bat and being able to pick things up. But when you talk about those 6, I really think Casey Collier has a tremendously bright future. I mean, you're almost 6'8" and moving extremely well. And when he gains additional strength in the weight room, I think he's going to be a talented individual. And then you got Caden Stevens, Andrew Malek, and Andreas DeWerk, just big men. They're the future of this offensive line, and we're very, very pleased with them, and we're very fortunate right now to be able to give them the work they needed to be able to progress. Because you're right, Ryan. They're going to whether it's a 2 role or rotational role, they're going to have to help out this year, and being able to work them in teamwork has been valuable.
Anything in particular that's most difficult about them making that adjustment, or is it just same sort of for a young offensive lineman?
Yeah, when you're going up against Marlon and Drake and those type of guys for the first time, it's a little bit different than high school. So the speed of the game and the talent that's across from you, you see pick up. And it was neat to see on day 1, they were like, whoa, those guys are really good. And then on day 2, they came right back. And I thought I had a really positive day. So there'll be some growing pains there, but it's neat to see them. They are just they're a shut up and work bunch, a blue collar bunch that just work hard, and they're learning from the older guys. I mean, guys like AVT and Jalen and Andrew Voorhees and Brett Nealon. Those guys are Liam Jimmins. Those guys are really taking those guys under their wing and being additional coaches. So it's fun to watch. It really is.
Okay, we'll go to Adam Grossbart, please.
Morning, Clay.
Good morning.
Saw that Reggie Bush was there on Friday. What was it like having him around the team for practice? And did you get just kind of a sense of what it meant to him to be back there for practice?
Yeah, Reggie is a piece of not only USC football history, but college football history. And one to have a living legend on campus, as well as his beautiful family with his 3 children and his wife, was a neat experience to be able to tour them around and be able to see all the changes that have happened on campus, whether it's the new athletic facility he hadn't gotten to see, or Heritage being redone, being able to tour campus and see how much it's changed since the last time he's been here. And just to see his love for the university and how he wants to be able to help kids, and help the next generation. It was great to have him back on campus, and you can definitely tell his sense of pride for this place, as well as his love. And it was nice to have his family for the day with us.
Did he get to address the team as a whole?
No, did not. We look forward to that in the future, but it was just a welcome back that day.
Okay, we'll go to shotgun again. For those who've just joined, if you have a question, you can raise your hand.
Hey, Clay, has it seemed like a normal camp, or has there been some strange moments? You talked about it being a logistical nightmare with the 4 fields. I mean, the extra protective gear you guys are wearing, starting in a different, time of the year. Does it seem like you're getting back to some normality, or is it still a little weird out there?
I think, Shotgun, to be honest with you, I think we're just all grateful to be out there, and there's some sacrifices that have to be made. Wearing a mask, wearing gloves, the whole practice. I'm going to lose about 10 pounds, which is probably a good thing running from field to field. But I think there's just a gratefulness that we have a privilege of being out here and doing what we love. And so we're willing to do whatever sacrifices need to be done, whether it's we're testing every morning, getting up early and testing every morning, whether it's being on 4 different fields with men on 4 different fields at a time. It's what's got to be done to be able to put us in the most safest environment. And you know how it is. You do something enough, it becomes habit, it becomes routine. So, the first couple of days will feel a little bit different. They did. Day 1 felt different. And then day 2 felt a little bit better, and it'll probably get a little bit better today. But overall, I know the kids appreciate it. They see a sense of organization. They see a level of safety that I know they're appreciative of. But it does come with a sacrifice and a discipline, daily discipline that we have to do to provide a great, safe atmosphere.
Okay, we'll go to Antonio.
Hey, Clay, I know that Greg Johnson and Max Williams both played nickel last year and they're both listed as safeties now. Does that change much of what they do, or is it more of a label thing?
No, in T.O.'s defense, what I love about it is, in the nickel package, obviously you have 5 DBs, but those 3 safeties that roll between the nickel, strong, and free, they can rotate. And one time you're the post safety, one time you're the box safety, one time you're the nickel. So being able to have those body types like Greg and Max are really important because when you look at kids like Talanoa, Isaiah, Max, Greg, they all have coverage skills. They all have physicality in the box. They all have range to be able to be in the post when needed. And so they bring a skill set to the table. And there's sometimes based on formation and motion that you're going to be caught on a slot receiver. And then there's sometimes you're going to be caught in the box. And then there's sometimes you're caught in the post. And so their skill set, I thought was a really nice fit for what we're doing. But we're very fortunate to have both. Both of them are going to have to play a lot of football for us this year.
Okay, Mark Culkin, you're up.
Thank you. Morning, Clay. Thanks for being here today.
No, good morning.
Hey, to follow up on the question I asked you on the players on Friday, you had a chance to watch maybe some more football over the weekend. Are you surprised at how prolific the passing games are across the country? And you must be licking your chops knowing you've got a returning quarterback coming back and second year under this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Are you surprised by how easy the passing games are working against defenses?
Well, when you see the progression of the passing game over my 26 years, it just keeps getting better and better each year. The quarterbacks get more talented, the wideouts seem faster. And in our game, there's just so much grass based on our hash marks that you have to defend rather than, the pro games played in the middle of the field. For us, if you have a quarterback that can throw it across the field and make those out and corner throws across the field, it's hard to defend it, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it across college football right now. People putting up 400 or 500-yard pass days. What an entertaining game Alabama Ole Miss was. I had never seen that many yards and points in my life. But it's been fun to watch. Obviously, I think as we're seeing not only on the college level, but the NFL level, it has really become a passing league in the NFL. And if you can't throw the ball, it's a hard day because defenses can load the box, and based on scheme and the talent you have around you, you better be able to throw it to be able to get them out of that box. So it has been neat to see the progression of college football and how it's changed over the years. And right now, the guys that have the quarterback and have the ability to push the ball downfield to back people off and unload the boxes are the guys that are winning.
Let's jump down to Eric McKinney.
Hey, Clay, how does losing Jay in the middle of the defensive line, how does that most affect you guys? And then obviously Brandon's a veteran there, but where are some of the younger guys in their development and ability to contribute this year?
Yeah, anytime that you lose what I think is a first-round pick in Jay Tufele, obviously, a brings up an opportunity for somebody else. And you mentioned the name. I really think Marlon and Brandon are going to have to be big factors for us interiorly. But you look at the guys that have their opportunity to step up. I think of Stanley and Dejon Benton, Jamar Sakona that's coming into play, Kobe Pepe, those type of 300-pound body types that now it's their opportunity to show what they have. So when you lose somebody like Jay, yeah, it's hard to replace, but we do have some guys that are talented at the position, that are physical and ready to play it. Now it's about getting the reps and the experience at that. But Jay was a powerful force for us, played a lot of good ball for us. We'll miss him. Wish him nothing but the best. He's going to have an amazing NFL career. But now it's an opportunity for those other guys. So I can't wait to watch them. They started off good.
Welcome from across the country, Adam Rittenberg of ESPN. You're up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Clay, good morning. I just wanted to ask, kind of similar to the defense question, it's been an issue around the country to prepare your defenses for games, it seems. Are there any lessons that you guys can take from watching a lot of these other defenses struggle in terms of how you prepare, even with some of the restrictions?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I have seen is the ability. You better be able to get to the quarterback, whether it's 4-man rush, 5-man rush, 6-man rush. The ball, you got to force the ball to come out. It's one of the reasons I'm very appreciative of T.O.'s system, of Coach Orlando's system, because it's ultra aggressive and it comes from everywhere. It's really helping us offensively, Adam. I'll be honest with you, helping Keenan, because the multiple looks he's getting and the multiple pressures from everywhere, whether it's 4-down pressures, odd pressures, DB pressures, it's coming from everywhere, and it's helping Keaton a lot. But what I saw is over the weekend is you better be able to get to the quarterback and not just let him sit back there, because the wideouts are so good that if you give a quarterback 3-4 seconds, he's going to find somebody. So it really, I think, puts more pressure on those 4 or 5-man rush schemes to be able to get to the quarterback, hit the quarterback, and get him off his spot.
Okay, we'll jump down to Ryan Abraham.
Morning, Clay.
Morning, Ryan.
The video we got to see, it didn't look like Vavai Malapai was doing anything. Is he injured, or what's his status right now?
No, the knee is really good right now. He's about full go with the knee, but has a little bit of a tight hamstring that we're trying to get back into play. He's been with our rehab specialist the majority of the time. Was really starting to look good, and then tweaked the ham. So nothing knee wise. I think we're really progressing in the right way there. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get the hamstring right, and but it's been very positive with the knee. I actually talked to him on Saturday, and he's been very pleased with how the knee is going. Now it's just getting his hamstring right for the season.
And then same thing with Brandon Peely. You mentioned him, trying to replace.
Yeah.
Is he okay now? Or?
Yeah, he's got a little of a stomach issue that he's dealing with. So we held him for Saturday.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go back to Ryan Karchi. We're probably going to have time for just a couple more here.
Clay, I know Coach Orlando talked about this in the spring, just being able to bring back toughness and just improving at tackling. And I know a lot of other programs have had issues, especially early on with tackling. How do you guys balance trying to be tougher and be better at tackling while also being conscious that, injuries are, especially soft tissue injuries are pretty common now? How do you balance those two things?
Well, one, you're going to hold your breath a little bit, because you have to institute it in your full pad practice days. You have to practice tackling, and we will each of our full pad days, as well as our scrimmages on Saturday. You're going to see a scrimmage this Saturday, next Saturday, to be able to put us in real life situations. And as a head coach, you hold your breath, because you have to get your kids trained in that. Running backs and wideouts have to be hit for ball security purposes. But you also have to do, and I think T.O. As well as Graham have done a great job and just in the fundamental teaching of the technique in their individual drill work on non-pad and shell days. So there's a lot of individual fundamental and technique work that goes behind both ball security and tackling, and we're doing that. But then you have to put them out there live, and that live tackling starts this Wednesday. And so you'll see full pad tackling each time. Each time we're in full pads, you're going to see us have period to periods of live scrimmage, just so our kids get used to getting guys on the ground as well as getting hit. And it is a fine line, and hopefully, like we did the last 2 days, everybody stays healthy and you're allowed to continue it. And as a manager of a team, you have to feel that as a head coach, that if you start getting injuries, you may have to pull back a little bit. But right now, we're in a good place to go work it.
Okay, we'll go back to Adam Grossbart.
Yeah, sticking with the defense, obviously missed the traditional spring install period. Compared to like a normal start of spring, how did these first two practices look? Does it look like the start of spring for the defense, or can you see all the film and virtual work that they've been doing?
Yeah, like I said earlier, Adam, I really feel that one, the meetings helped us, but the OTAs that we got those 2 weeks prior, be able to go through walkthroughs and individual drills and be able to meet and talk and really prepare our team for this system for 2 weeks really helped. It kept our kids in a safe space, but allowed them to gain some valuable knowledge. So I was really appreciative to the NCAA for allowing us to have those opportunities. And as you saw in week 2, we were able to get in helmets and spiders, to be able to get some. I don't know if you've ever had that helmet on, but it takes a little bit of getting used to neck and traps and getting it fitted right. And so it was an unbelievable 2 weeks. I hope it's something that the NCAA continues to do because it really helped us install our systems in a very safe manner.
We'll take our last question from Mark Culkin.
Great, thanks. Hey, on a positive note, I know you can't mention recruits by name, but recruiting's been going really well this offseason in light of everything that's going on. How important has the increased support staff around you helped with recruiting? Can you talk about that at all?
Yeah, I definitely. And again, I thank Mike Bone and Dr. Carol Folt. When we got done with the season last year, it was, Coach, what do you need? And to be able to sit down with them and say, hey, this is what we need from a coaching staff. This is what we need from personnel assistants, recruiting assistants, technology assistants, whether it's video, social media. We upgraded both our numbers, but also I think the quality of individuals as far as video production and social media and recruiting assistants. And obviously you're seeing the results. It's not finished yet. We've got it's signing day isn't here and we don't have a full boat yet. We've got some guys that we're continuing to try to get in the boat, but very pleased, one, with what Mike has given us from a resource standpoint, but to the staff. I mean, it is from daylight till dawn that they have been on phones and video calls and relationship building with parents and players and coaches. It's been a daily emphasis and something that we're reaping the rewards for right now. Now we got to go finish.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks, Clay, for joining us this morning. Thanks everybody else for being on this. Just a reminder, the schedule for the rest of the week, we are at 8 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have an assistant coach and 2 players on Tuesday and Wednesday. Clay will be back with us on Thursday. So with that, have a great rest of the day and hope to see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Have a great week, guys. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.